In this week's video, I hang out with these fairground-style flying trains in Wuppertal, Germany. I visit the pyramids and yet more trains in Düsseldorf airport. I lose all track of time with this wacky bicycle clock. And on a hot day, I fry some eggs at Graffiti Central. Hello guys, Roy on the road at Dublin Airport, a very busy Dublin Airport Terminal 2, travelling on a Friday, which I normally try and avoid like the plague. Now, I didn't film the alarm clock going off this morning, I didn't film the drive to the airport. To be frank, I think today to involve plenty of hanging around. And on that cheesy pun, I hope you enjoy the video. So despite how busy the airport was, and I really haven't seen it that busy in a long time, got to say that security was really straightforward. I was mad impressed how quick we got through, and also how well mannered and cheerful the staff were. It's not always like that at Dublin, particularly in the other terminal. That's number 1, and you know who flies from there. So you weren't expecting that, were you? Okay, I've taken the seasickness tablets. The vertigo's been really good lately. I'm going to do some hanging around on that thing. And so there are 20 stations on this line, 13.3 kilometres. One of these suspension railways pings off every 4 minutes apparently, so 15 an hour. Reportedly takes 80,000 people a day. If you average that out, given the number of trains there are, theoretically it shouldn't be that busy. All I could say is it's a Friday afternoon and the streets are really busy, end of the week drinks and whatever. So that was the end of the line, and now the train is going to turn itself around. Apparently I couldn't be on there when it did that. So 180, and it will re-emerge over there. There we go. So the track is 13.3 kilometres long. I've jumped on at the halfway point, gone to the end in Wuppertal. I'm going to go all the way back and then halfway back again. The ticket machine was not very clear. It was all in German, but I've just paid €14.40 for a ticket. I believe that's me done for 4 hours. If not, well, I'll just pay the rest. A lot of fun so far. They're really busy around the central station, really uncomfortable there. But after that, fantastic views and it's just such a novel concept. This dates back to 1901, coming up for its 125th anniversary. They started building it when Queen Victoria was still on the throne. I mean, go figure. Now, if you want some interesting facts, go onto Wikipedia, look up Tuffy the elephant, because Tuffy the elephant in 1950 was on this tram. Yeah, it was part of a publicity stunt for a circus. But Tuffy freaked out, burst out the side door and landed in the river below, remarkably unhurt. But Tuffy has become famous somewhere in the river below, and this suspension railway goes over the river primarily and a few roads, so it's very cleverly constructed. Somewhere there's a monument to Tuffy, just to remember where she fell out. I wouldn't fancy jumping out, and I don't weigh what an elephant weighs, almost. Yeah, as you can see, the train's got busy again. I think it's just a case of when we go near the central station, hopefully by the time we get to the end, which is probably the eastern side or the northeastern side, it'll be near empty again. Plan is to stop off and get a drink and maybe buy to eat and admire this as it goes by above me or alongside me. We'll see where I end up. 14 euros. That's actually quite cheap for a sauna, particularly one with good views. So that there is the highest point that I've seen as far as it goes from heading off the ground. Like I say, there's supposed to be 472 stanchions and a few extra pillars. It depends on what source you use. Still looking for that little memorial to the elephant. Thought I spotted it earlier, but didn't. Opened in 1901, completed in 1903. If you think about it, putting your railway above the river, this is space you're not taking away from residential or commercial properties, and furthermore, it must be a lot cheaper than drilling tunnels to make an underground system. So talk about faux pas. I went by on the train there and I saw a bit of a party. I thought that looks all right, we'll go there for a drink. So I've had to get off at a specific stop, go for a bit of a walk, found it, there's banging music going on, thought this looks really good. You never guess what it was. Can you see? Yeah, it was a gathering of the church and they're there drinking Coke and Fanta and eating crisps and things. Faux pas. Snowplow. It's 25 degrees today. So walking between church and mural in the Wuppertal suburbs, not a bad time to explain. This was actually the second suspension railway system I had seen during the day, because about 6 hours earlier I got off my aircraft at Düsseldorf airport, and guess what they have? Yeah, a suspension railway system, far more modern, not quite as long, but equally as impressive. Here, take a look. I ain't ever complaining about the walk to work again. Would you fancy that every morning? Absolutely not. Okay guys, it's confession time. Not only had I previously lost my suspension train virginity at Düsseldorf airport, but I also visited Düsseldorf racecourse and took my first beer. In fact, this is my first beer and I am at Düsseldorf racecourse. I'm glad I've come here because it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a non-race day. I'm going to show you around right now, but I think you'd agree. They've got this game figured out. It's a thing of beauty. Absolute thing of beauty. Horses thundering down this straight here. Boom. And there's the winning post. And isn't that just wonderfully old-fashioned? That over there is where I had my beer. Wish I had more time. I would stay for lunch, most definitely. Oh wow, there's another uncomfortable walk to work. That little detour cost me about 60 euros in taxi fees, but it was well worth it. Unfortunately, the parade ring was undergoing a bit of repair at the moment, so I'm a bit disappointed about the state of that. But hey ho, you can't have everything, can you? This here's a champagne bar. I'd love to come and explore that one as well, see it in its pomp and splendour. I mean, like when it's serving champagne. Anyway, great detour for me. Really enjoyed it here, and I recommend this race course to anyone, particularly on a race day or just a nice sunny afternoon using that cafe and restaurant over there, because the food's exceptional and the beer was really nice. So indeed, it was a busy morning and a busy afternoon. Let's head back to Wuppertal to finish off our day. I've got way too wrapped up in this. It's 10 to 9 at night, so I've been up for 36 hours and a bit more, but I've forgotten to eat, and I'm a bit worried now. Will the restaurants be closed in Wuppertal in the city centre? I certainly hope not. 4 more stops for me, lunchtime. I cannot start to tell you how insanely muggy it is. I mean, look at the state of this. I'm going to lose a few stone here today, just through sauntering in trains and climbing up train steps, I'd say. Now, I've just seen that machine there and it's got me a bit worried. Was I supposed to have verified my ticket, franked it, put it in the machine after I bought it? That was the way on the train earlier today. Well, I haven't, and I've got 4 more stops to go, so wish me luck, but funnier things have happened. Oh, you absolute fool, Roy, you absolute fool. All restaurants closed. Seems like most closed at 8 o'clock actually. So it's going to be a kebab, or I did go past a really nice looking oriental place, street food type thing. But unfortunately, there was no beer in the fridge. And right now, I need a cold beer. This meal was €7. I mean, first impression, but even if I didn't like it, I would respect them for selling a meal for €7. Let's go next door and get this from the kebab shop. €2.50. It's better than water for 12 quid. I mean, how can you go wrong? It's actually really nice. Good morning, welcome to day 2 in Wuppertal. It's the morning after the night before, albeit beyond some street food and 2 bottles of beer. It was an early night for me, much needed, so I'm fresh as a daisy now. Unfortunately, only got half a day here. Got to head up to the train station to arrange some tickets. But I want to take a look at the town and spend a bit less time now looking at suspension trains, albeit somehow or other, I think when I see one go by, I just won't be able to resist getting the camera out. Do you remember these? Yeah, much missed feature off of British high streets. You see, I couldn't resist. On my way up here to the train station, like I say, got to get a ticket and get out of Dodge. I'm a bit worried because tomorrow's a Sunday and it looks like the trains are quite sparse. And I've figured out the mystery of why the airport was so busy. Monday is a bank holiday. I was unaware. So yeah, airports on Fridays, on bank holiday weekends. And why is it wherever I go, whatever country, that neenor, neenor, neenor noise chases me around. The biggest and poshest looking Primark you've ever seen. There is a serious amount of cheap clothing in that place. Great building all the same. So here we go. Another one of those spotless train stations. Information. Oh, hello. Isn't that absolutely splendid? Absolutely splendid. He's got a bag of shopping, so he's popped up to the shops, got his provisions. Thought I'd have a little play on the piano in the train station. Love it. Fantastic, thank you. Okay, fantastic. This place never ceases to amaze me. Went poking around with the train tickets, and basically for 18 euros I can have a 24-hour ticket to take any train I want to airports, to other cities on the SkyTrain. And he said 17.90 for this 24-hour pass, and I thought, well, 70 quid, you know, I don't really. And then it appeared on the screen in front of me, 17 euros 90 cents for 24 hours on all trains. Incredible. Anyway, I'm going to stay here and see what Wuppertal has to offer beyond that train. First thing in the morning, ice creams before they've been vandalised. Look amazing, don't they? Oh yeah, all the way. Okay, I'm on the hunt for a pair of shoes. I've decided these ones have cried enough. And I often find when you travel abroad, you can buy clothes a lot cheaper than back home, and it goes some way to reimbursing you for your flight, or in my case, your car park at Dublin Airport. Possibly the most spotless kebab shop I've ever seen in my life. One of those. Hey, that's an idea. Oh yeah, mango magic, please. Come in. Oh, it's getting better and better and better. What? I'm not certain too many Indian streets look like that, but hey. Oh, I need to stay another day. Definitely coming back for a smoothie. Or maybe just a fresh fruit. I mean, how can you beat it? It's called a mango dream. It's absolutely divine. Yep, cheers. So how cool is that for o'clock? The front wheel does the hours, and the rear wheel does the minutes. And then the time actually meets in the middle where there you go. You go that way, my friend, and I can do that. No, I like my heavy metal, I do. I love a bit of LA Guns, Skid Row, and a lot of others. But can you see this lot? Volta PPK. Oh, old school. And it gets better, because here is the AK-47. Isn't that incredible? So from a distance it more so resembled a church, but when I've got up close and personal it's more of a sort of government building type thing. And as for the fountain, it's a bit goth, isn't it? Very goth. Aha! So that definitely is a church. Let's head up there. Well, that's a bit more than unfortunate that a lovely church is completely surrounded in trees. So Wuppertal, it appears to be in a valley, which would make sense because the suspension train follows the river at the bottom of the valley. Resultantly, everywhere is up, as I've just discovered. I found another church. So here's a weird one. This area has been, as far as I can tell, and I hope so, set aside for graffiti artists. So instead of making a mess of the streets, people with spray cans have been welcome to come up here and go to work. I mean, that's not too bad. I like him. Is he real? Or is he one of those mime artists just waiting for someone to leave him a few bob? But if he is, he's been there all night. No, this is quite a famous statue in Wuppertal. What it's supposed to symbolise, I don't know. A man, a suitcase, a lunch, and he's on the edge. I don't know. Right guys, on that bombshell, I better check out. Appreciate you joining me, but I've got a train to catch. Had a great old time here in Wuppertal. Suspension train, yeah, it still got me amazed. I will take one last look at it before I leave. I thoroughly recommend it. A bit crowded, so I presume that the best time is probably out of season midweek, or certainly not around the 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock time. Bands. One last beer maybe. We'll see about that. But I gotta go, so I appreciate you joining me. Look after yourselves, be lucky, and I'll see you next time around.